Hello, I'm Steve Sosslin, Chief People Officer of the Texas Tech University System. Vision, as it applies to leaders, is the ability to see into the future, set strategic priorities, and create clarity so that others may execute on that vision. On October 15th, 2020, the Board of Regents, Chancellor Mitchell, and the presidents of each of our universities met in order to discuss the vision for our next 10 years. In his Sentinel book, Built to Last, the author Jim Collins introduces us to the term BHAG, Big, Hairy, Audacious Goals. At the retreat, we discussed those big, hairy, audacious goals we would need to accomplish in order to make this cover a reality to transform higher education in West Texas and beyond by the year October 2030. Within the Texas Tech University System Administration team, the Vice Chancellors are working with Chancellor Mitchell's vision to transform the way we lead within our divisions and with our university partners. We explored how we can improve the transparency of our communication and the ability to empower execution to the lowest appropriate level in our divisions and as we work with the universities. With these goals in mind, we are transforming the Texas Tech University System Administration team to the model of servant leadership. On the screen are the 4 precepts, the tenets, the pillars of servant leadership. Servant leadership isn't the only model that we're using. On this slide, we show servant leadership in the center, and we have other models that we are using in our discussions with leaders throughout the university system. You'll notice on the left side of this slide are our values. I want to show you an example of what we're talking about with the values, and the values serve as our foundation of the culture that we're trying to develop within the university system and in each of our individual universities. In November of 2019, 185 members of the Texas Tech University System Administration team met together to identify the core values that live within each of us and to specifically identify those which we share among each other. We then use those values to determine what are the aspirational goals and specific behaviors that we're looking for that we can each hold ourselves and each other accountable to. This is an example of a values flyer that captures those values. We've defined each of the values, and we have the specific behaviors to which we will hold ourselves accountable. The system administration team is not the only one that has done this. In May of 2018, in the upper left-hand example on this slide, Texas Tech University Health Sciences Center developed the set of values that they're working on to define their culture 3 years later. In June of 2019, we worked with the Health Sciences Center in El Paso to identify their values-based culture. In September of 2020, the Texas Tech University School of Veterinary Medicine met as a team to identify their core values. And most recently, Angelo State University met in February of this year. Additionally, one of our departments within the College of Agricultural Sciences and Natural Resources, the Agriculture Education and Communications Department, also met to identify the values that will drive their culture. Together, these 5 organizations are within the system are working towards creating the culture that allows everyone to be able to do their best work and be most productive. As regents, there will be others who will look to you to be a model for these behaviors. So on the next slide, I've captured the words, the values from each of the entities within the Texas Tech University system. And you'll notice that there's much in common And the bigger the wording on this slide and this word cloud, the more often that concept was being used. You'll also notice it somewhere in Spanish because Angelo State University is a Hispanic serving institution, and we've written the values both in English and in Spanish to serve our team at ASU. Also, in September of this year, Midwestern State University will also conduct a values summit to identify the core values that will define their culture. As Chief People Officer of the Texas Tech University system, I serve 4 major functional roles that are listed on the screen now. I look forward to working with each of you to support you on your journey as a regent for the Texas Tech University system. Thank you.